12 survival tips on how to start a new life after divorce. Yes, you are not the only one. Nearly half of all first marriages result in divorce. According to the American Psychological Association, the divorce rate between second and third marriages is also greater. Ensure that you do not do these things after divorce. Here are 12 tips on how to truly overcome divorce, with its emotional turmoil, and start a new life. The tips include divorce advices that pertain to both the practical and emotional aspects of life, as well as things you're better off avoiding so as not to evoke more pain, and how to recover from divorce.
1. Stop sharing the same place as soon as possible. Numerous couples have to live under the same roof after the divorce, which often complicates the process of separation. However, staying together after officially splitting up may also impact your and your wife's future. It will be impossible to bring in a new girlfriend or boyfriend, especially if there are kids, and it interferes with the stages of divorce recovery. Thus, one of the solutions may be to move in with your parents or friends if you can't afford to rent a separate apartment yet. Whatever option you choose, make sure that your new home is suitable for your children and redecorate to make it new and free of old memories. This is a good way to get a grip on the emotions you are going through after the divorce. 2. Establish a convenient weekly schedule. Establishing daily routines and rituals might require some time and is necessary for life after divorce for men with or without kids. However, making a basic weekly schedule is definitely worth the effort, as it can help you keep your head above water whenever you feel lost or depressed. Of course, it won't be easy to start a new life while facing significant changes in the family structure. This is why it's crucial to prepare your new schedule beforehand to keep yourself on track through this tough time. 3. Take care of your health and well-being. The effects of divorce on men's health as well as mental health can be massive. Try to prioritize activities that will improve your well-being and support your health, especially if you work too much. Divorced men often suffer from health issues because they feel empty inside and don't get enough care. Nevertheless, you have to think about the future right now. 4. Make sure to deal with post-divorce depression correctly. Did you know that the Holmes-Rahe scale considers a contested divorce the second most awful stress in life, after the death of a spouse? Even superheroes have their weaknesses, and you are a human being, so it's normal to feel insecure and even depressed at times after heartbreak. Post-divorce depression is a serious issue that needs to be dealt with. Did you know that the Holmes-Rahe scale considers a contested divorce the second most awful stress in life, after the death of a spouse? Even superheroes have their weaknesses, and you are a human being, so it's normal to feel insecure and even depressed at times after heartbreak. Post-divorce depression is a serious issue that needs to be dealt with. Gloomy mood almost all day long for a long period, lack of interest in activities, eating disorders, consuming more or less food than usual, dramatically losing or putting on weight, insomnia or oversleeping, lack of energy, fatigue, problems with anxiety and focus on daily tasks. There are even more severe symptoms of men dealing with divorce depression. If you are seriously influenced by the symptoms mentioned above, reach out for help immediately. It is better to visit a therapist who can prescribe treatment for the particular case you have. 5. Do not skip grieving. Please note that some symptoms of depression might be similar to the ones of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It is better to visit a therapist who can prescribe treatment for the particular case you have. The grieving cycle is loosely divided into the following phases: 1. Denial, 2. Anger, 3. Bargaining, 4. Depression, 5. Acceptance. Thus, accept your loss and spend some time grieving and sorting out all your feelings that come with it. It's essential to spend as much time as you need on grieving. The death of something means a new life in another. Although it may be hard to understand or even imagine a new you right now, just believe that it's going to happen and you will find happiness after divorce. 6. Make a conscious effort to overcome your pain. Never fear going to a therapist to feel whole and work through your emotions, as it will pay off in the long run. Therapists will never label you, but will rather help you go through the transformation by respecting your unique path. There's a common thread in almost every great work of literature, what writers refer to as the hero's journey. So, dare to be the hero of your own life without heeding to the expectations or norms of society. Society itself is imperfect, after all. 7. Use mindfulness techniques. Try mindfulness meditation and other techniques that will help you calm down and raise your awareness. Even if the world around you is spinning and it's really hard for you to control yourself now, it's worth the effort. Try conscious walking. This kind of walking is probably the best mindfulness technique to start with, as it's relatively easy. Conscious walking includes paying attention to every small detail on your way. Mindful observation of the things around you will bring you to the present moment and make you feel significantly better, both physically and mentally. 8. Disconnect from social media temporarily. It may be detrimental to disconnect from your supportive friends and relatives when you're facing difficult times, but this rule doesn't apply to social media. Firstly, constantly browsing your ex-wife's Facebook page is no good, because you might see something that will break your heart, like seeing her with a new man. So do yourself a favor, either unsubscribe from her page for a while, it's possible to do so without deleting her from your friend list, or don't check your social media accounts until you feel the desire and strength to face reality. 9. Reconnect with your favorite hobbies and people. Overcoming a divorce isn't an easy period. It's like recovering from a severe illness, so treat yourself accordingly. You need lots of self-care now to enhance your well-being. Start your busy week with a boxing class, go fishing on the weekend, musical instrument, join a public speaking community. Nevertheless, cultivating new friendships will help you get out of the frame of your past life, where everybody knows the person you used to be. Now, let's be clear, there's no need to quit on your old friends for good, but rather to make new connections to avoid social isolation and help you move on. So, start small with simple meetings. You can find lots of local activities on services like Meetup. 10. Say no to alienation and yes to me time. If you're suffering from loneliness, try replacing it with me time. Shift your focal point to a bit of self-indulgence. It might sound weird, but make sure that you have pleasant experiences on a regular basis without neglecting this practice. At first, including pleasurable time in your daily schedule will require a conscious effort. Nonetheless, in a while, you'll benefit from me time, as it will rebalance your body, mind, and soul. This will help turn your lonely time into time for myself, and pave the way out from desolation. 11. Build a meaningful life. When your grief is finally over, you might find yourself quite lost because your past is gone but your future hasn't come yet. This is often called a transformation zone, with respect to personal crises. What is unacceptable for you in a relationship, and what would you like to have instead of it? Always be honest with yourself and figure out what no longer matters to you. Sharing similar values is key to establishing a long-term relationship, and keeping in touch with each other's emotions is key to a profound, long-term connection. 12. Learn to forgive. You might find it difficult to accept the idea of forgiving your spouse at first, but the time will come when you become willing to do it, either consciously or subconsciously. In fact, resentment is one of the most punishing things that people can do to themselves. A person who can't get rid of resentment might end up being very unhappy. You shouldn't force yourself to forgive, as this is simply impossible. However, you'll notice when the wave of your anger starts to decrease. Once you feel less bitter, you might want to quit holding that grudge for good and start living a happy life. This will mean that you are ready for forgiveness, which is the final phase of recovery after divorce. Remember that all people make mistakes, you and your ex to deal with those emotions and look forward.
How long does it take to get over a divorce? Essentially, it takes time and can be different for each individual. You need to take the time to grieve and go through the stages. There are no shortcuts or quick fixes, nor gender discrimination in your feelings. It's not like taking a computer to the shop for repairs. Remember that you are human and must repair yourself. After you get through the emotional turmoil and get to know yourself, you will find a light at the end of the tunnel and find happiness and peace. Only then you are truly ready to start a new life and a more meaningful relationship. Hopefully, these 12 tips will help you deal with your divorce and you can improve the quality of your life. However, remember that it is impossible to always control yourself, so it's okay to get down sometimes and not be perfect. Keep in mind that your future is in your own hands. It is you who's in charge of what your personal future will look like. And isn't now the perfect time to take action?